Hey, what's up people? Welcome to my gaming channel, Despwns. Today we're going to be talking about more Avacyn Restored spoilers and, yeah, I think that's fucking it. So, firstly, we're going to be talking about some white cards that I've had the pleasure of looking at. First up, Angel of Glory's Rise. Wow, okay. It is a 4/6 for 7 mana, which is pretty steep if you ask me. Its ability is one that would only really see play in our standard format, seeing as though there's zombies and other humans and stuff. But other than that, I mean, it's one of those things that's probably like the best fucking sideboard card ever, because it's one of those cards that if you run in a standard Reanimator deck, it's probably not going to see really good play unless you're running humans up the fucking asshole, like green-white, red-white, whatever. I mean, sure, it's going to see play, definitely, but I mean, it's not going to see as much play as probably Magic was looking for. Probably like the zombie apocalypse for humans is how I look at it. Maybe, except for as a creature body, it is a little bit better. Next up is Cathar's Crusade. All I have to say about this card is it seems like this card will definitely fucking see play. I heard a rumor this morning that this card might like Hero Bladehold, but I don't know if that's really true or not. I also heard that this card really loves increasing devotion, as well as a Fateful Hour Gather the Townsfolk. I'm pretty sure that those guys are best friends. Oh yeah? Text message? Fuck off! I guess time will tell really where this card's direction goes. The next white card I'll be talking about is Entreat the Angels. I definitely like this card. It certainly has its uses, but I feel as though top decking a Miracle out of this card may not be what you really want to Miracle. I get what they're trying to do with this card. It's a fucking angel-centered set, so of course they're going to have something that'll put a fuckload of angels out if you have the right mana cost for it. Herald of War, however, is a completely different story. I'm definitely going to try to play this card. Whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and angel and human spells cost 1 less to play for each +1/+1 counter on it. Yuck, dude. Yuck. This seems like it's going to be really unfair to play against. If you see this on the other side, you're going to be like, okay, please let me have something in my hand to get rid of this. Please let me be able to counter this or get the fuck rid of it, because I know if this thing is going to come at me, I'm gonna die pretty hardcore. I have 2 blue cards to spoil today. One of them is Nephalia Smuggler. Oh no, he's smuggling shit. It's a 1 costing 1/1. That's it. I'll see you later. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually quite good. I definitely have a few questions about this card. One of them being like, if you were to Traitorous Blood someone else's shit, could you tap the 4 mana, tap this guy, bring it back into play under your control, but permanently rather than until end of turn? I think really where this card was trying to go though is the fact that Undying is going to work really well with this card. So I think that's where they were trying to go with the whole Nephalia Smuggler thing, is Undying and that whole shit. And the second thing we're going to try to spoil today in the blue is the first Planeswalker I've actually been able to look at and spoil in this set, and that is Tamayo is Tomato the Moon Sage, and Tomato is I'm just gonna call it Tomato. Here's what I think really, truly, and honestly about this card is that it just does not fit this fucking set. That being said, I like the ultimate ability on this card, but Jesus Christ, it's a 5 mana to put out and it's a 4 loyalty counters. But in this case, it's 5 mana to bring it out, and then you have to wait 4 turns without Proliferate to even use its ultimate ability. So I just feel like there are definitely some fun uses for this card if you're running like Legacy and that kind of stuff. Let's try this, right? Tomato, ultimate ability, Dark Ritual, and Drain Life. Have fun. So I have 2 black cards I want to talk about today, one of them being Exquisite Blood. Sanguine Bond says what? I like this card. It certainly fits into a standard vampire deck, so I'm pretty excited about that. I can rock vampires. They did die out in Avacyn Restored, but I don't give a shit. Secondly is the Treacherous Pit Dweller. 2 costing. Black, 4/3, Undying, but the downside of this card being when it comes back from the graveyard, one of your opponents gain control of it. That kind of sucks, but there are ways around it. I heard this card really loves Grafdigger's Cage. Yeah, it does. If you were to give this card +1/+1, Hunger of the Howlpack, Increasing Savagery, yeah, if you were to give any +1/+1 counters to this guy, you don't even have to fucking worry about it. That was a beautiful time looking at black cards. Now we're gonna look at some red cards, including a new spoiled Planeswalker for this set, in which I'm super excited to tell you about. But first, Bonfire of the Damned. That's right, undead people have bonfires. What's it to you? It is an XX red card which means that yes, you would have to pay X twice in order for its initial casting cost. So if you wanted to do 4 damage, you'd actually have to pay 8 and then another mountain in order to even cast and deal 4 damage. However, this card does have Miracle. Again, if you wanted to do 4 damage, all you'd have to pay for its Miracle cost is 4 and then an extra land. That is a way better option, paying 5 rather than paying 9 mana to wipe their board and deal 4 damage to them. You know, it definitely has its uses, and I'm sure it'll see a lot of play. Malignus is the next card I want to talk about. If your opponent is at 20 life, this is a 10-10. If your opponent is at 10 life, this is a 5-5. I found some interesting uses for this card, definitely. For one, let's say you were running an Infect deck and you gave this thing Infect. Your opponent's life total would never drop below 20 because they're taking poison damage, so you're looking at a 10-10 Infect creature whose damage cannot be prevented. Wow, this is some Infect candy right here, because fuck. The next card I want to talk about is Reforge the Soul. This is probably the best Miracle card to top deck if you have an empty hand I've ever seen. So burn decks are known for spending a shitload of spells. Hiya, hiya. Take all these burn spells, you bitch. This card I love so much because red burn decks suffer a lot from not having enough card advantage. And this card, a whole new hand full of whole new burn spells that you're going to fuck your opponent in the ass with. And finally, this leads me into Tybalt the Fiend-Blooded. That's right, a 2-costing Planeswalker. Initially, this is what I thought. I was still really excited about it. Its effects are a lot watered down than obviously a Liliana or Garruk or anything like that, but I understand why Magic had to do it. It's their first 2-costing Planeswalker. Of course it's going to have to be less of a force than, let's say, Liliana or Garruk or Chandra. But what I really like about this card is just its versatility. I think this card is definitely going to rock some shit. I mean, if you think about it, this card doesn't die to a shock ability or anything like that because you still maintain priority when it comes out. Oh yeah, he's freaking 2 mana. So I mean, think about this. Turn 1, Mountain, Memnite, Infernal Plunge. This guy and Vexing Devil in the same turn. The way I see it is Proliferate is still in the environment, at least for a few more months, so this guy and Proliferate, they're gonna be best friends. I see this card is definitely gonna have a lot of uses that probably we as Magic players, before this set actually comes out, don't really see. So I'm really excited to see what kind of combinations you guys, as well as other Magic players, are gonna come up with Tybalt. Well, alright, let's move on to my favorite color in Magic, green! So I got some fucking kick-ass cards to show you guys for green. Let's check those things out. I'm gonna start this off with Champion of Lamholt. Wow, this card is fucking good. I love green. It's no secret, I fucking love green, but this card is just so good. Like, oh my fucking god. Yes, it's a 1/1 for 3 mana. That is its downfall. That is its one and only downfall because it gives itself +1/+1 counters, and this is an exciting feature. Creatures with power less than Champion of Lamholt cannot block this card as well as other creatures you control. Oh my god! And whenever another creature enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on this card. What is up with this card? Okay, yeah, a Fateful Hour, Gather the Townsfolk with this card. Ooh, I think I just won the game. I think I might have just won the game. Oops. At first you'll be like, 1/1 human? Whatever, dude. Keep it in play. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, man. Couple turns later. Why did I just take 20 damage that I can't prevent? This sucks. I can't block any of it. So there's that card. Let's move on. So Revenge of the Hunted. At first when I read this card, I wasn't that excited about it. I was like, 6 mana for +6/+6 and has to be blocked by everything. I don't really know. But then I read that little teeny text at the very bottom of the card. A miracle for 1 green mana. Oops, I just drew this on turn 2. Looks like I'm gonna miracle my 1-drop and have your creature die and you also take 6. That sucks. Can someone make a deck, please, where this card synergizes with Engulfing Slagworm? I just want to drop this card on Engulfing Slagworm just once. Bye creatures, see you later. I hear this card really loves Infect. I also hear this card really likes Death Touch. I hear this card really loves Predator Ooze against token decks. Oh, you have a whole bunch of 2/2 flyers? Don't worry about it, because I'm gonna get fucking rid of all of them. And the last card I want to spoil today is Wolfear Silverheart. As long as Wolfear Silverheart is paired with another creature, both of them get +4/+4. Excuse me, Magic, but is this an 8/8 for 5 mana? Oh, it is. Oh, it's an 8/8 for 5 mana that gives +4/+4 to something else? One thing I just want to say is, why does this card in Silverblade Paladin even exist? So I'm staring at an 8/8 double striker and a 6/6 double striker, so the next turn I lose. Is that what you're saying? Oh my god, Soul Bond. What are you? What the fuck? Well, those are all the cards I have to spoil for you guys today. Anything that I talked about today can be found in the links below. I will make sure to keep you guys more and more updated as to the events of Avacyn Restored, and I will see you guys later.